Live from the Bob Levy Broadcast Center, overlooking the Toms River, it's time to get up, get out, do something. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. Be a part of the show, 732-505-1160. News Talk Radio WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Listen online at WOBMAM.com.
Hey, welcome back. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. It is... My columns are wrong. It is 6:08 on March 23rd, right? 50 degrees, getting up to 70 today. Beautiful day today. WOBM AM 1160, 1310, News Talk Radio. Streaming on the Radio Pup app and WOBMAM.com. 732-505-1160. That's 732-505-1160 if you want to call in, because this is a call-in show and you are welcome to call in. I am highlighting that because our next guest, Danielle Bagdzinski from Cowan and Gunteski, told her coworkers that this was not a call-in show because she was fearful of what might happen if they called. So that's 732-505-1160. Feel free to join the conversation. Ask Danielle anything you want. Good morning, Danielle. How are you?
Good morning, Jeremy. I'm great, and thank you so much for that. I very much appreciate it, as do my coworkers.
No problem. You know, at some point, people will understand that it's best not to tell us your weaknesses, your fears, your concerns, because we will prey upon those and use them for evil as opposed to good.
Hindsight is 20/20.
Yes. Well, that's true. So Danielle, tell us a little bit. You're in a new position for a long time. How long were you with the Girl Scouts?
I was with the Girl Scouts about 5.5 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And in the nonprofit world, that's like 30.
It is.
Right.
It
so that's great. So now you are with Cowan and Gunteski. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you're doing there and what that's all about?
Cowan Gunteski and Company is an amazing firm, and I'm the marketing coordinator there. I've been there now for about 3 months, and Cowan Gunteski is a leading accounting and profitability consulting firm serving the tri-state area. And what's great about Cowan Gunteski is that we're more than just traditional accounting firm. We work a lot in consulting, litigation, business valuation, benefit plan, auditing, the whole shebang. And, we also service a lot of different industries, and our partners are experts in each of these respective industries. So we work in manufacturing, construction, healthcare, hospitality, life sciences. I could go on, but it's a great, great firm.
Cool. And so one of the things that we like to do is, I found that there's a trend of folks that have come on this show that like to tell us how much they love our jobs. So you really love your job so far,
I
right?
really love my job.
Great. So Don Cowan, if you're listening, Danielle really loves her job, Don. So she's doing a great job. I'm sorry. Go ahead. You were saying?
No, that's okay. I was going to say Don is listening, so I'm sure that he appreciates that shout out.
Great. Don, our phone number, by the way, 732-505-1160 if you want to join the conversation. So Danielle, tell us a little about yourself. How does one, A, end up at Girl Scouts, B, end up leaving Girl Scouts, ending up at an accounting and other services firm? I don't want to
very good accounting and consulting.
Yeah, accounting. I don't want to pigeonhole the firm into just accounting. What does one's career path look like that?
Oh boy, actually, it's pretty interesting. Jeremy, how far back would you like me to go?
You can start wherever you'd like.
Oh wow, okay,
Yeah.
No, I won't go that far back because it's not that interesting. But I will start. I went to college. I went to the University of Minnesota for my undergraduate degree in English and the sociology of law. Very random,
Right.
I know. Decided I'm a Jersey girl at heart, wanted to come back, so went to Seton Hall for my graduate degree in communications. Now, at that time, I didn't really kind of know what career path I wanted to take as when I was a young gun, kind of inexperienced, had all these dreams about the real world and what it was going to be. So I thought, okay, communications is great. It lets me be versatile and kind of go where I want to go. So that being said, I had no idea what I wanted to do. Within my graduate program, I met a young woman that said, you know what, you're pretty bubbly and peppy. Why don't you intern at my public relations firm? So one thing led to another. I got the internship there for a big public relations firm in northern New Jersey and ended up being hired to work in their New York City office. So spent probably about 6 or 7 years in the city, worked for a couple different PR, sports and lifestyle agencies. And I love New York City. New York City is great. The lifestyle, however, is just not for me. I'm a shore girl. I love the shore. So I said, you know what? Let's make some changes and move down the shore. So I spent some time just doing some freelancing, in between looking for another job. And the opportunity with the Girl Scout to the Jersey Shore came along. And I said, wow, that's kind of perfect in a way. Knowing my personality, it just kind of fits. And it was a great, great experience. I worked with fantastic women and men at the Girl Scouts of the Jersey Shore, and I wouldn't trade that for the world. But as with anything, you get to a point, I think, where it's kind of time to move on, and I wanted to try something different. And I'm someone that needs to be kind of pushed outside of my comfort zone. So I saw the opportunity with Cowan Gunteski, and I said, okay, let me give it a shot. And, I'm not going to lie, I thought, okay, well, traditional accountants, maybe they're kind of boring and maybe a little bit stuffy. Let me tell you something. The first day I went in for the interview with Don Cowan, that idea went right out the window. I mean, I walked in and said, I want to work here.
So someone was with Don when the interview was done?
So, yes, it was Don Cowan, and I'll give him a shout out to Mike Lewis.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I was gonna say, all right.
And I remember leaving the interview, and I called my father and I said, I really want to work here. And it was just sort of a feeling that I got, because you could tell that not only was it, a great firm, but they really cared about, their employees, and they cared about their clients. And they really had this kind of dedication and passion for it. And I know you're looking at me, you're like, that sounds so cliche, but it's true.
No,
it's
listen,
true.
I'm with you. I actually, I feel heavily responsible for you in your new position because
I know.
Because your predecessor, I actually, may have hired away from Cowan and Gunteski, and
who is amazing.
Yes. And Kelly Fliller, who previously worked for Don, came to me, opening the position up, and in you went, and then and then we actually, I think. Then who came into your position? Was it Lori Pepinella?
Lori Pepinella.
Oh my God! So
who is also amazing. It's fantastic.
I actually blew up the Southern Ocean County Chamber of Commerce is what I did. So I would like to take full credit. I apologize to all those in Long Beach Island for having actually 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon having negatively impacted the Southern Ocean County Chamber. Okay, so Danielle, so we now have learned that you are only partially a Golden Gopher. You are more, you are much more a Jersey Shore girl, and really, we are here to talk about Women's History Month,
right?
Which is March.
March, the entire month,
right? Which is ironical because we would have thought that in your previous life at Girl Scouts, Women's History Month would have been your focus, but you have had an epiphany since joining Cowan and Gunteski, and so you came to us and said, we got to talk about Women's History Month, and we got to talk about women in roles that are somewhat like kind of break gender stereotypes.
Correct.
Right? So why don't you tell me where your kind of head went on that?
Sure. Let me start with a question for you, Jeremy.
Oh my God.
No. Did you know that March was Women's History Month before I mentioned it?
So
honestly.
This is a loaded question.
Yes. I'm just curious.
No, had no idea. Had no idea.
See, that's important to know. And I think for whatever reason, this year, 2016, I don't know if there was more media play or it was publicized more, but, there was a lot more on social media, on Twitter, and I was reading a lot of articles about women in business and women business owners. So it got me thinking, I know a lot of really great women. So obviously it made sense that the Girl Scouts, it's an organization dedicated to empowering women and giving them courage, confidence, and character. Great. But when it came to Cowan Gunteski, accounting, I had no background in accounting, and I saw these amazing women who maybe we'll get to talk about a little later on in this show, and I thought, they're awesome. They're in a field dominated by men. Why isn't that happening more?
So that's what we're going to talk about when we get back. Look at Danielle. You could tell she's like a professional communications person because she has led me right into my teas. When we get back, we're going to get some examples of those women kind of setting the bar. We're going to talk more. I'm telling you what, this is like This is going to be the Women's Empowerment Hour. I'm super excited about that. I'm waiting for the phone calls to pour in about me not knowing that it was Women's History Month. And we'll be right back. Danielle Bagdzinski right after this.
Get more Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin at our website, WOBMAM.com. News Talk Radio, WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Make a difference at the Jersey Shore. 732-505-1160. Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin. News Talk Radio, WOBM AM 1160, 1310, and WOBMAM.com.
Welcome back. Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin. Danielle Bagdzinski here. Cowan and Gunteski. We are talking about Women's History Month, which I admittedly probably knew but didn't know, and I said I don't know, and so now I'm going to take a smackdown from my wife and my 2 daughters. It's good. Good times. So, Danielle, why don't you give us some examples of positive role models who you think should be, what should our young ladies be taking their cue from? Who should they be taking their cue from?
Well, I'm glad that you brought that up, Jeremy.
No problem.
Because when I think back, I think I kind of wish that I had more female role models in fields that were, let's say primarily dominated by men, like accounting. And I'm going to be selfish here, and I'm going to talk about some of the amazing women that I work with at Cowan Gunteski, because they really are phenomenal. And, about half of our employees are female. And this all came about is because I decided to write a blog post about Women's History Month, highlighting 4 of our managers and partners. But I need to state this first. All the women that I work with at Cowan Gunteski are amazing.
All of them?
All of them.
There isn't one that you're like, you don't have to name a name right now, but there isn't one that you're like, she's not so amazing. She's just kind of mediocre.
I'm a communications person, Jeremy, so I'm keeping it totally neutral.
Okay.
But
All right,
maybe when we go off air. No, I'm kidding.
You're so
I'm kidding,
positive.
girls. I'm
You're
kidding.
So positive.
Well, I like to put out that positive energy. So what happened is Deb Mathis is one of our partners. And I had the privilege of going to a seminar at Centra State that her and Mike Lewis were hosting. Now, and it was about updates to Medicare. I'm not going to lie, Jeremy, I have no idea about Medicare. I really don't know much about the healthcare industry, but I'm learning. The amount that I've learned being here is great. But, that being said, I thought I'm probably not going to be able to take much from this presentation because I really don't know what they're talking about. But I'm sitting there during this presentation, and it's early in the morning. It's like 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm not so much a morning person, but, I try. I have a lot of coffee. So anyway, I digress. I know I have a couple minutes to fill, so I'm just kind of putting in fodder.
You're doing great. Go ahead.
Okay, let me get back on topic. So anyway, I'm watching Deb present this material that is so intricate and it's so advanced. And she is giving out this information to, medical providers and practice managers like she's been doing it since birth. And I'm like, this is amazing. That she knows all of this and can deliver it in such a way that's easy for people to understand.
Right.
And so that kind of set the tone for me thinking, like, we have some pretty amazing women that we work with. So, I just kind of talked about Deb Mathis, who is one of our partners, and she's also the executive director of CG Healthcare Solutions, which is one of Cowan Gunteski's healthcare affiliates. But we also have Carol Egan, who is another partner, Dawn Greenberg, who is a tax principal, and Deb Rauch, also another tax principal.
And by the way, Deb Mathis, I will back you up. She's on the board of the United Way with me. She is on the board of Southern Ocean Medical Center, very active in the community. And I see her on the soccer fields because her son is a super outstanding soccer player.
Awesome.
And his team kicks my son's team's butt whenever they play. Anyway, I digress. But now I digress.
That's okay.
All right, so you have some great examples.
Right.
What do we do though? Maybe I'm a little bit jaded.
Right.
Okay, because I have a son and 2 daughters.
Right.
And my youngest daughter wants nothing more. She's going to STEM camps this weekend.
Yes.
She's 11 years old and she loves math and science.
Right.
And she wants nothing more than to study that.
Fantastic.
And so I don't see the gender roles the way the gender roles used to be.
Right.
I sat in at High School South. My son is doing this science research 3-year project.
Right.
And the vast majority of the kids doing this science research were girls.
Right.
So I think that's like a flip of the script from where it would have been 20 years ago, because I
Right.
think you would have seen mostly boys. But when we come back after the break,
Yes.
I would like to talk about what we do, how you think we should get girls more engaged, how they can see more positive role models, and what would be Danielle Bagdzinski's plan, not just in a blog, but in real life, if it was President Bagdzinski and she was in charge of all the women
Wow.
this is a lot. This is a lot. This is more than just a magic wand.
I have to write this down.
I know. Write that down. We'll be back after this. Danielle Bagdzinski, Cowan and Gunteski. Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin. Don't forget, if you work with her, you can call in at 732-505-1160. Be right back.
The news is next. Live from the WOBM Newsroom, the Town Square, New Jersey News Network, and Fox News Radio. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. News Talk Radio WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Live from Town Square Towers at the heart of the Jersey Shore. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. Get up, get out, do something. Join the conversation. 732-505-1160. News Talk Radio WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Listen online at WOBMAM.com.
Hey, Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin, 6:34 in the morning, 50 degrees, heading up to 70 today, Wednesday, March 23rd, WOBM AM 1160 and 1310 News Talk Radio, streaming live on the Radio Pup app and WOBMAM.com, 732-505-1160, to join the conversation with Danielle Bagdzinski from Cowan and Gunteski. And what I asked Danielle to work on during the break, and she was feverishly writing down her action plan. I'm very excited to hear it, because I think there's a whole outline built. There's there's Roman numerals, there's a big letter. It's going to be exciting. But I asked her, we've identified that we have some fantastic female leaders in the business community and beyond. Not so much in politics. We're working on that. But what do we do? How do we engage our young women to get involved in maybe some non-conventional female jobs and careers, right? So Danielle has put together a 22-point plan. So Danielle, why don't you share that with us now?
It's a little less than 22 points, probably only 21.
That's not bad.
But that's okay. But you had said, Jeremy, before the break that I could be President Danielle Bagdzinski.
Yes.
So that, you kind of opened up Pandora's box with that one.
Okay.
I kid. No, you know what? This is a topic that's very near and dear to my heart. And I think, on a national level, like you just mentioned, we have a lot of female role models for a younger generation, but I think it's almost more important to have female role models on a local level.
Okay.
So, for us, female role models right in Ocean County. And we do have a lot of female role models right in Ocean County. So I think that these female role models, and a lot of them are readily accessible to our younger generations. So to do speaking engagements for, our young females, to show them all the different, hats that you can wear. And that's one thing I think that I would say, if I could go back in time and talk to my younger self, in addition to my really bad fashion choices, I would say, you know what, Danielle, get outside of your comfort zone and wear as many hats as you can, because, the way things are changing, you can really do anything that you want to. And, even, being young, it's really never too late, but, start out when you're young, because it only kind of sets the tone for the future.
Right. It's funny you mention really bad fashion choices, because I was going through your Facebook.
Right.
No, I'm joking. We're not going to go down that road. So Danielle, I think that's interesting though that you are you're talking about from a political standpoint, because I know that Donald Trump will be looking for a running mate.
Right.
And I think the interesting part is, if there was ever a presidential candidate or a potential president that is likely to be shot while in office, God forbid.
Right.
It could very well be Donald Trump.
That's true.
So that vice presidential, that running mate may be super important, Danielle, and I think you should put your resume in.
Thank you. And when you put it that way, that makes more sense because I was thinking, no, I really can't stand Donald Trump, but if I was next in line, that sounds horrible, doesn't it? Though
Right.
to
So
kind of think about someone getting shot and
yes,
then being
it's bad. So are you a Hillary Clinton fan?
I am in a sense.
In which sense
I'm just
would
wondering
that be?
where this is going.
No, I'm just asking.
You know what, Jeremy? I always appreciate a female leader and a female role model, and
Well,
I
that's
think
good.
she's smart. I think she knows her stuff. Does she always make the best decisions? I'm not sure. I don't really know enough to be an expert on that topic,
Right.
but I do admire her. And you know what? I'm going to go out on a limb, and maybe this might get you some calls. I don't know, but I think maybe it is time for a female president. We need some change.
How did you feel about Carly Fiorina?
I don't know.
Yeah, no feelings. No feelings on Carly Fiorina?
No feelings.
Well, I don't know. I'm seeing a clear trend here, Danielle.
I know.
A clear trend. Okay, so we've talked a lot about female role models. We've
Right.
talked about how we can get folks, how we can get our young ladies to kind of learn more. By the way, great program at Ocean County College right now.
Yes.
Right, the 100 Women program.
Amazing.
Right, and so this is women in leadership throughout Ocean County who are, in essence, basically taking mentors. Their mentors for their mentees,
Right.
Who are young women who are kind of making their way through, and they're great role models. So among them, for example, Ginny Haynes,
Yes.
like our first freeholder since 1860, our first
Right.
female freeholder. But you have so many business leaders that are part of this, that are part of it, and really, I think one of the important steps around kind of putting an arm around young women and saying, listen, you don't just need to go into those typical gender specific jobs and careers.
Right.
So, and some of the things that we also probably, what's your feeling on the salary and pay gap which exists? Because we don't talk much about that, but while we're on Women's History, there is a clear pay gap between women and men. Do you have a feeling on that?
I do. I think it's really unfortunate. And I think, for women, as we move farther up and up the chain, it gets really frustrating because I think that, women and men both do great work. So why not be rewarded equally?
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not like one is working harder than the next. So, but you know what, Jeremy? I don't know when that changes or how it changes. I just hope it changes.
Absolutely. I agree with you. It is definitely unfortunate. And, as a father of two young ladies,
Yes.
I'm certainly believing and hopeful that they will be, they will probably make more money than, well, I'm going to challenge them right now. I think that my youngest daughter for sure is going to dominate my oldest son, right? I'm just my only son. I'm just saying. I'm throwing the gauntlet down, Josh.
Uh-oh.
It's been said.
I'm just saying it because she's that kid. She's that kid.
Good for her.
Danielle, where could folks learn more about Cowan and Gunteski and about all the great stuff you guys are doing?
The best place is our website. It's www.cgteam.com.
Cool. And just to reiterate, you totally love your job.
I totally love my job.
You love Don Cowan, and this is it's been great for you, right?
I am gonna hear so much flack when I go back to the office after this, but it's worth it.
That is totally what we're hoping for. By the way, we didn't get to talk about what a huge fan of the Lord of the Rings you are,
Yes.
and the Hobbit,
Right.
and I think you even said like Frodo Baggins forever or something like that.
Frodo Baggins for life.
Yeah, that's a little strange, but that's
Right.
that's a whole separate show. When we do Lord of the Rings Appreciation Month, we will have you back in. Danielle
Awesome.
Bagdzinski, Cowan and Gunteski, thanks so much for spending some time with us this
Thank you,
morning.
Jeremy.
All right, we'll be right back.